Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Demon Slayer. Last time around we had the strongest of the Demon Slayer Corps, where basically Tanjiro and Zenitsu started training under Stone Hashira Gyomei Hinejima, and basically we're just going through the brutal training of sitting under a very, very cold waterfall in the winter, lifting these logs, which is like nothing, and moving a boulder, which is also like nothing. At least it would be nothing to good old Jonathan Joestar, but Jonathan Joestar is not here, and he is not one of these boys. You know, I remember, like, a long time ago I saw a video that was like, oh, what if Jonathan Joestar had One for All from My Hero? I wonder, like, I want to see, like, could Jonathan Joestar defeat a demon in Demon Slayer? Like, one of the 12 Kizuki. Let's start off small, go with Gyotaro. I can't believe that's small. And then, work your way up. I would say, can he defeat Muzan? You could make a video like that because the manga is finished, but, I mean, it'd probably be spoilers for Muzan's powers, so I probably can't watch it until these movies are made, so, yeah. Anywho, Tanjiro moved a rock. That's pretty much where we left off. And he also can manifest his mark much easier now, so, yeah, it's pretty much where we left off. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Demon Slayer. Here we go. Boy, they certainly have amazing timing on those Taisho era secrets. It's the same as in the entertainment district after they beheaded Gyotaro and Daki, and he exploded and destroyed everything. And then it cut to freaking Tanjiro like just gasping for air with his freaking chin sliced open and everything. It's just, and now it's time for a Taisho era secret. Good friggin' grief, man. Okay, so a lot of things in that episode. I mean, just on top of Muzan and Kagaya meeting, they definitely go. I like that for the King of the Demons, they definitely go the Dracula route with him, where it's like, he's so freaking handsome, and he's, like, dressed so well. For being 1,000 years old, like, he's dressed so modern, He's got, like, a suit and a cloak, and he's all, cool. Meanwhile, all the Demon Slayers, they look like, samurai, basically. Not exactly the same, but you know what I mean. But they all have this, ancient, traditional Japanese look to them. So it's just such an interesting, it's such an interesting, dichotomy, what's the word I'm looking for? Comparison between the two, But then we've said pretty much since the first time we saw Muzan that it's like, the fact that he looks so different, he looks the most human of all the demons, Yeah, and, look at the demons that we've had, we've had Gyotaro, who was just a wreck, we had Sperm Man and Small Guy that split into 4 dudes, so many demons just look horrendous. Even, Upper One has, 6 eyes and stuff like that, but it's and then here's Muzan. He's just a guy. He just looks like Michael Jackson, smooth criminal era Michael Jackson, But he finally found him. He finally found Master Kagaya. Now, he hasn't found Nezuko yet. Hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully he hasn't found Nezuko yet, but... I mean, look, I want to say, don't worry, it's okay. Former Water Hashira Urokodaki is there to protect Nezuko. And yes, Urokodaki is incredible, and he's a former Hashira, But you do have to remember, if Muzan himself goes there, that could be a problem, Muzan, the oldest and most powerful of all demons, Okay, so a lot of stuff happened. Something's going on with Zenitsu. I hope we figure that out in the next episode, because I don't know if I'm going to remember it by the time these movies come out, you know? I mean, this really is like, you know, this is playing into, hey, we're going into the final arc here, folks. I hope they get these movies out in decent time. Like, and I don't want them to be, like, rushed or anything. And I don't want them to have any, like, I don't want them to, like, crunch to get this animation done. Because I also want this to be the most amazing Demon Slayer fights we've ever seen, you know? I want them to top Uzui versus Gyotaro, which they haven't done so far. But at the same time, it's like, man, mainly, I guess the thing is, like, I guess whenever it comes out, I'm going to watch it. My concern is all this. Like, I've kind of hinted, you know, previously, even though, like, I'm not stopping anytime soon, but I don't know how long that'll hold up, you know? I don't have any plans to stop, you know, doing all these videos and stuff, but, you know, I look at the future and I think, I can't be doing this forever, you know? So, like, I hope they come out in a decent time, but still, I don't want them to crunch. I don't want them to be overworked, you know? So, I don't know. Let's just go through everything. Geez, like, I thought we were going to have a in-depth discussion about children, you know, and, like, I guess, like, child psychology, but instead, like, I've been upended by Muzan Kibutsuji. So, I hope Kagaya has his sword, you know? Like, I want so desperately for him to at least go out swinging, you know? Like, he hasn't done anything in so long, you know, this illness, whatever it is, has been taking him over. I want him to be like, yes, but I've saved all my remaining strength for one final push. Even if he knows it's not going to kill him, I just want to see him, you know, I want to see him bust out a Yoda move, you know? You thought I was a frail, sick man, did you? He just busts out his sword quick as can be and nearly gets... Like, I want it to be like he nearly gets Muzan, but can't because he is too sick. It's like, I want that because just... I want to see this dude do something cool before he dies, you know? Just one. I mean, you went to the trouble of casting Matt Mercer. I have to see him do something cool. I hope it happens, but I mean, if it doesn't happen, it's fine. I hope it does happen, because it'll just be cool. Even if it doesn't get far, whatever. I just want one interesting move. Like he has some weird breathing technique no one else in the Demon Slayer Corps has. You know, he's got like I'm trying to think. Tree breathing? Nature breathing? I don't know. I mean, you know, we don't know why exactly Muzan wants to kill... I mean, I understand he wants to kill the head of the Demon Slayer Corps, but, like, he specifically is trying to eliminate the Ubuyashiki family. Does he know that Muzan has, like, 6 children? He and Miss Amane have 6 children. I don't know. Like, they gotta... One of them Hashira better get there quickly, man. If it's Shinazugawa, fine. I don't care who it is. Just, like, even if it's the ones that suck, like, just someone get over there so quickly. Okay. Mr. Hinejima. So we got his backstory. He used to be Brock, but it was sadder than what Brock ended up doing. You know, it was the sad Brock outcome of not being with those kids anymore, you know? Brock just left, to go on a fun Pokemon adventure. For Hinejima, all those orphans he was taking care of died. And the one that survived blamed him. I wonder if she's out there. I mean, this couldn't have been too long ago. I mean, he said that it was Master Kagaya that, bailed him out of that, So that couldn't have been but a few years ago, 'cause that's the thing, the Master's young. I remember, we've said, he's 23 years old, and he has 6 children, which is impressive. And his children, they look... If I were to guess, I'd say they're, maybe 6 years old or something. They're also, identical. Man, that must have been a hell of a birthing process. Anyway, I don't know. Or maybe they were just created. I don't know. Something with their eyes. Maybe they were just, created in a cauldron or something. I don't know. Probably not. Probably Miss Amane is just, a normal person. She just has a very unique design. Anyway. But Sayo, she could still be out there. I wonder if we'll ever go back to that, Maybe, at the end, if we'll go back and see... I mean... I almost think it's better to just leave it, yes, unfortunately, this poor girl is traumatized, and she blames... she says she thinks that Mr. Hinejima killed all those kids. But... I don't know. Alright, let's talk about kids. It's interesting because of the way with what he talks about, children are pure, they are innocent, and that is true. There's back in the day, you'd hear it like church or something. That's children are pure, and by living in this world, they become impure, and then, as the Bible would say, they must be saved. They must eventually be saved. But at base, children are pure. But I like how he talks about it. It's yes, they are pure. Yes, they are innocent. But they're also selfish. They have this self-preservation. And they don't know any better. They will lie without any problem. Without feeling guilt on their consciousness, They have to be taught those things, if a kid lies, if a kid just lies, they're not going to feel any guilt until their parents or just someone instills that guilt, when they see what their actions caused, and some kids, there are certainly some kids that don't care, but, they'll see the disappointment of their parents, or they'll see the person that they hurt with this lie, and that will start to change them. They're no longer that pure and innocent thing. But that's the thing, is the way he talks about it, if anything, children are the closest humans are to animals, Because animals, animals don't lie, but, animals themselves can be very pure. There's nothing necessarily evil about an animal, we have these concepts of good and evil, but they're mainly just applied to humans, if a bear kills someone, that doesn't really mean the bear is evil. It means the bear felt threatened and lashed out, And that could even just be that, the bear is threatened, even if the person, isn't doing anything. He's just, this person is just caught, basically. This person just accidentally wanders upon a bear. That still poses that threat, even if they have no intention of doing it. They're not a hunter or there to kill it for sport or anything. They're not trying. It's just a complete accident, but that can still be a threat to that bear. Not exactly the bear's fault, And that's basically just the thing. That's just the thing about these animals, Or, if you have, a tiger or something, or a lion, and they maul someone and eat them. That doesn't mean they're evil. It means they're hungry. And you were the first food, and probably, it's probably a double whammy. They feel threatened. They're like, what the hell is this thing? what's this guy, you know? So they kill you, and then they satisfy their hunger. It's like, there's nothing inherently evil about animals, and it's true that it's like, there's nothing inherently bad about children, you know? It's like, they have that, you know, that purity, that innocence, but they also can do these things, you know? But if anything, that's really just it, is that they are probably the closest humankind comes to animals, you know? Like, is it, you know, we say, oh, it's such a tragedy, and obviously it is a tragedy if an animal kills a human. That's obviously a tragedy because it's a loss of life. But at the same time, like, you know, like, if my dog went out to our backyard and killed a squirrel, does anyone call that a tragedy? And maybe there's someone out there that would, but at the same time, a lot of people would be like, well, that squirrel encroached on his territory and, you know, didn't make it out, you know? Didn't make it out, and my dog did what it does, what it was literally bred to do, basically. Or, you know, what's in its DNA, and it did what it does. It killed it, you know? So, I say that. Squirrels are actually very fast and generally outrun my dog, but you get the point. But that's the thing. That's the thing. So it's an interesting thing, like, talking about that. It's like, you know, eventually a child will hit that point where they stop being that, you know, this sort of animal and become more human, like the rest of us, and basically become a sack of shit like the rest of us, you know? But Tanjiro's a good boy. I love that this show just, you know, quadruple downs on Tanjiro being a good boy, because I know that is a complaint with Demon Slayer. There are people that are like, oh, Tanjiro, he's just a good boy, he's not interesting. And it's like, no, that is interesting. Y'all are just Walter White pilled, you know? Y'all are Eren Yeager pilled, you know? It's the same reason why, like, My Hero went down so hard, is that they stopped caring about Deku's characterization, you know? And it sucked. And I'm just going to say that, and we're going to move on. You know, I'm not going to say any more, because I don't need to go on that whole thing again. But I like that, you know, Tanjiro, and I've said this from the beginning, you know, even before the Dark Times, but even, like, at the beginning, I was like, wow, Tanjiro is like Deku fully realized, you know? Because Deku always talks about being a good boy, and is sometimes that, but Tanjiro just is that, and I like that. And I like even here, where, you know, Hinejima thought, it's like, well, he chose to save the villagers over saving his sister, and so he had the respect for that. But then, you know, Tanjiro's like, no, I didn't make that choice. Nezuko made that choice, you know? But now he has earned Himejima's respect for being honest about that, you know, for being such a good person of, you know, admitting his fault and admitting, you know, not taking the credit for that. It's like he sees how good of a person Tanjiro is, you know? So that's really great. I really like all of that. And then the episode just kept friggin' going, you know? I gotta sneeze. Hang on. So we had the sparring session between Tomioka and Shinazugawa. Was not the ass kicking I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. It was still interesting. It was still cool. I'd love seeing water breathing again, you know? Like, it's been so long since Tanjiro used water breathing, now that he's fully just switched to Hinokami Kagura, which is fine, but I really liked water breathing. Like, I think visually it's the most interesting, you know? Hinokami Kagura is fine, but it's just flame breathing with a different name, really, you know? It's just like, you know, we had Rengoku with his flame breathing, now we have Tanjiro with his sun breathing, but they look exactly the friggin' same. It's just maybe Tanjiro's is a little bit redder than orange, you know? But I just really I really enjoyed water breathing, just visually, you know? And I like the visual distinction, like, when you see wind breathing, like, I love how violent wind breathing is, which is interesting. Like, it looks like a friggin' tornado, you know? It's not this, a nice breeze or anything. It's like, no, this motherfucker comes in like an F5 tornado. Trust me, I live in Tornado Alley. That is what he is, you know? So that's at least cool. But yeah, I just love seeing water breathing again, and just seeing the specific forms too, you know? Like, that was nice. So, but yeah. And then Tanjiro came in because he didn't realize it was a sparring session, broke things up, and even though they have the restraining order, and it's like, oh, you need a restraining order on, this little twerp? Like, yeah, what are you? You suck. I don't know. I'm just looking for excuses to shit on Shinazugawa, because, I mean, again, I just hate him. I just absolutely hate him. Even if he does good stuff, like, he just sucks, and he sucks. That's it, you know? I love, by the way, they still won't talk about what Genya's condition is. Like, it's like, I went over to Miss Shinobu, but she always has this, like, scowl, and she lectures me when I go over there, and it's like, because she doesn't, she hates demons, so... Like, she gives a pass to Nezuko, but only Nezuko. We still haven't gone back all this time. We haven't gone back to see, her working with Miss Tamayo. So yeah, it's like we still haven't gone back to that. But it's an interesting thing that it's like, she always lectures. Like, she doesn't enjoy Genya's company because of his condition. They still won't explain what his condition is or why he has it. When did this happen? So I don't know. But yeah. And then I do like Tomioka when he learns is like, Shinazugawa likes red bean paste. Maybe if I give it to him every time I see him, maybe we'll become friends. Like Tomioka is such an awkward he's such an awkward, like, emotionally stunted person, which is saying something among the Hashira. Like, they're all a bunch of weirdos, but I love that he's specifically the outcast of them. And I like, too, Shinazugawa was like, so what happened to you being not like the rest of us? And Tanjiro's like, this isn't what he meant, but is Tomioka going to explain that to him? No. Because it's just, good grief. So that was fun, at least. And then it all, like, it got real. Like, everything was cranked up to 11 now that Muzan has found Master Kagaya. So yeah, we got one more episode this season, and technically, I guess it's the final episode of the show, but obviously we're going to be continuing with the movies. But yeah, I'm very curious to see where we are going from here. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Demon Slayer reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.